Hello, and welcome back to the Business of Happiness podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Tarryn McCarthy, and today is such an exciting, phenomenal day. I cannot wait to introduce you to this extremely special, soul driven, gifted woman who is going to just knock your socks off. She's the founder of Happy CEO, so you can know immediately why I'm so drawn to her. Happy CEO is a high impact coaching company helping women scale profitably, purpose driven brands through strategy, embodiment, and next level leadership. Hello. She is a former cosmetic dentist who is so talented, and she turned into a serial entrepreneur, building these beautiful businesses that have just been thriving, not just in the dental world, but also now these seven-figure brands in the digital space. She has a sharp eye for branding and a deep passion for marketing and the women she serves. And I'm so excited to introduce you to Dr. Jessica Emery. Hello, Jessica. I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh my gosh, take two. We had so much to cover. I had you on my podcast not long ago. We were like, this conversation is not complete.
Yes,
Will
yes.
it ever be?
If you haven't listened to it, it's on
Yes.
Dental Confidential, Jessica's podcast, which is amazing.
Yes.
You
It
have
might
to.
be on Happy CEO podcast. I'm not sure, and dental. I might have put it on both, but either or, Happy CEO or Dental Confidential podcast. Yes.
Okay, well, you got to check them both out because they're both
Yes.
magic. Anyway,
Thank
very
you.
good. I'm so glad you're here. And before we got on the recording, Jessica was just telling me about her daughters. So both of us coincidentally have daughters heading off to college. Such
Yeah.
a big deal. And your beauty is also going into the dental field.
Legacy, yes. On her own, decided I made sure not to actually, and my mother as well. I was mentioning that my mother was a hygienist and then a dentist. She never encouraged us either, like gave us just the free space to lean into deciding what we wanted to do. But it was during college, I believe, for me, high school into college, definitely college. I wanted beer money, so I was like, Mom, can I come work for you? I started assisting my mom and fell in love with it on my own. And so I believe my daughter too, through seeing my journey and knowing that I've just been so crazy passionate about the people in our profession, that she fell into it too. So I could not be more excited.
Oh, so cool. And it just warms my heart to see her exploring something that really is drawn from within, right? This desire, this calling from within. And I'd love to know, can you tell me a little bit about 19-year-old Jessica? If we look back to draw back the years, what was she like?
Wild.
Love it.
I was definitely a wild child, which is why as well. I mean, we're talking even academic probation.
Oh,
Party girl, Jessica, like my first year in college. But I remember like looking at schools and whatnot. And actually, you want to know the truth? I started college as a psych major. I just love people, which is why assisting my mom, I fell in love because my mom would leave the room and I would talk to the person. And I loved art too. And then she'd build up this gorgeous tooth. And I was like, oh, this is just like tying it all together. But it was a fraternity party that I met a guy and he's like, oh, I'm just here. I'm pre-dental. My dad's a dentist. I'm going to be a dentist. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. My mom's a dentist. Like, why wouldn't I go into dentistry, a business, and that's, like I said, working with her. That's how it all came together for me. But because I was having so much fun in school, I realized that I didn't want to go directly into dental school because I was still playing. I realized that we only get this one life and I wanted to live it fully. And so I took a gap year after school and I was like, do I really want to study for the DAT right now? How serious am I? And I believe I took it, but didn't really study. And I was like, that's not going to work. So I did whatever I needed to do, or I believe maybe I had the grades, but I applied to Forsyth for dental hygiene, got in there. So I was like, I'll just do 2 years because I had my bachelor's for hygiene, which I did I don't even recall if it was kind of part-time or not, but I did that. So I did dental hygiene for the 2 years and was still able to go out and have sushi with my friends and really enjoy that time of my life, my youth.
Yeah.
Because I think of a lot of the people that go straight in, like super slam from 4 years of undergrad into that intensity.
Yeah.
because I was a little bit older going in, and I remember it, which is probably also in my maturity why I didn't take it so seriously either. Because when I wanted to leave for Costa Rica, I was dating a surfer, and I was like, I'm out, peace, I'm out, I'm going out, for 2 weeks. And they were like, you'll fail, you'll never make it, you're gonna have to stay back. And I was like, peace, I'll be
Mm.
fine. I knew I had my hygiene, like I knew I was gonna be okay, which of course I was.
Mm.
And so when I speak to somebody that's had a dental education, they're like, what planet were you on? In the emotional, like I said, state
Yeah.
of mind. And so I'm sure the 19-year-old me had a lot to do with my mom. I had a wonderful role model in my mom. Very, very grateful, where she was one that just said, freaking live life to the fullest.
Mm.
We were in Paris once and the elevator was too crowded. We had to she's like, we take the stairs, we go, like, let's go. She just made everything happen.
Wow.
Um,
And that is such a superpower because I think that gets so squashed in
mhm,
dentistry as you just identified, especially when you just push all the way through, which was my experience. And I love that you were brought up in this world of possibility and
mhm.
drive and knowing that whatever you set your sights on was available to you.
Yes,
What a
yes,
gift.
yes. This is what I wish, and why I believe I'm here too, is because we all
Mm,
have unlimited potential, and there are unlimited possibilities
mm.
for everybody right now. Like no one is stuck in a box, in the mind matrix of the box of the logic that we were taught to live in.
And let's just really focus on that for a moment because I think there are so many listeners who are hearing what you're saying, but
Mm,
feel like that's impossible in July, August, September of 2025. We are definitely living in a box. We have so many constrictions. There are so many limitations. Here are all the reasons, Jessica, why I'm trapped. What would you say to that beautiful woman who's feeling, financially trapped? We're at the time when people have the highest student loans ever.
mhm.
It feels like there's so many limitations. How do you help your clients see the bigger picture of what's really possible?
Energy, just energetics, because just all of the things that we didn't learn or lean into. I am, which I believe you are too, spiritually connected, meaning like the universal laws and understanding more than just the logic. And with that comes trust. And this is why I love mentorship and having someone to support you and lean on, because so many times when you're on your own, you don't even hear yourself, right? The words that you're speaking are spells, right? Like, so what you're seeing and saying, you're attracting in your world. So, if you're looking at your practice or what have you, where finances is being lack, then that is what you're attracting more of. And so I love to kind of be that bridge for women to really, like I was saying, like the alchemy of it, and in playing with different things and trying different things on. And again, just the moving people out of that scarcity and lack, up that frequency scale to leaning into gratitude and love for what is there, where you started, the big picture vision, knowing again that everything's possible, and then creating those micro shifts that then become actually macro, because again, you're elevating, so you're attracting more of what you actually desire. Things start coming in and happening, from it feels like magic, right?
Yes.
Too,
Yes.
it gets to be that good. And I say easy because it really is. We with a decision, one decision, to make that change and get the support, because again, to do it yourself, we have subconscious programs that just run on repeat.
Yeah.
And that's where that autopilot, that hamster wheel, that leads to the burnout.
Yeah. And we become so blind to it when we're living in that story.
Yes, the story, right? A new story, right?
Mhm.
And then shift yourself out. It's identity. And we don't spend enough time in vision. And what is that book on the bookshelf in that library? That's the future you, your higher self, because it's available to you right now. And all you have to decide is to walk through the doors and pull it off the shelf and step in. But you have to start showing up as that person right now
Yeah.
and detach. It's like the detachment is huge. And I know it feels scary. We understand that it feels scary, but it's the only way. It's the only way.
Mm.
out, I say, to the surrender. And I don't mean, I had a conversation with someone else about this the other day, and it was interesting what she thought and how she took surrender. Because I don't mean surrender, like just surrender and be on the, couch eating bonbons or whatever. I mean, like just letting go to knowing you're being guided than something much greater than yourself. Call that Mother Nature, God, universe, something much greater that's beating our heart, like our soul, like is here knocking our intuition. I've always been guided by my intuition. We all have the most innate wisdom. And this is what I found in dentistry is that when you are stuck in that logic and that lack and all of that, you're not available. The door is closed to your soul that's like, hello, but we have this and we have this and we have this and we have this for you, like a buffet available for you. Pick what you want and desire, but like you can't hear it. And this
Mm.
is why, especially for women in dentistry, it's like what they don't even take lunch, let alone something I always did in dentistry, which I find to be so important, is space. I would always go to Florida. I'd create mini me weekends. I would have CEO days. Me, myself, and I. Do I want to go to the spa? Do I work on my business? But like nobody can like be in my space, But I would actually get on tarmac and go to another place. I found my little nook in Florida, and I call it my magical beach because so many things were born, ideas, business ideas, because I gave myself the space to open the door where I'm like, I can hear just download after download after download, and I'm writing and I'm writing and I'm writing into my dreams. And if I could show you all like the amount of dreams I have written down, and I do this sometimes on social, and I show people, I'm like, I wrote this in 2006, and look, like crazy manifestations, crazy things,
Mm.
because we're all so connected. But are you taking the time to sit with yourself, to create the space, to write about the things you desire? Are you desiring things and going big enough, for your, not only your business, but your life, for your love relationship, your health and wellness, your spiritual, like all the wellness wheel, all categories smart.
Yeah. Oh, so beautiful. I love that you are just speaking permission for women in dentistry to think and allow themselves to consider these options,
Mm,
right? Because
yes.
I do. I think we get so boxed in with what is right, what is wrong, what we should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing, how my practice should look, how my day should look, how my life should look. And there's that torturous word should
Mhm.
that keeps coming up, which is such a beautiful indicator of judgment. And what I love from your story, I'm picturing this 19-year-old Jessica who was very self confident, who was very loved levity and play. And
Mhm.
when we use those beautiful components, we start to realize that we're putting so much stress on such small things, that we're
Yes.
putting so much pressure on ourselves for such ridiculous reasons. But when we give ourselves permission to play, to step
Right.
beyond it, we get a bigger vision, we get
Mhm.
a bigger, greater perspective of what really matters.
Yeah.
And I love that you were given that opportunity when you were younger to
Yeah.
really step into trusting yourself, because I think that's also a part of trusting the intuitive wisdom, the whisper.
Yes, for sure. For sure. And play is a key
Key.
word, the inner child within
Mhm.
you when we're children, right? There's no fear. You'll get up and you'll do anything. And then slowly over time, when people say, sit down, be quiet, you're not good enough. That's not, you're just the do, 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 do. And then fear raises its head. And so I think to differentiate between that, the ego, which is there to protect us. So always in gratitude but to walk with it and say, okay, you can take a back seat. And to your should, I always say, stop should-having all over yourself. I mean,
Mhm.
that word when it comes up, just
Mhm.
stop, right? Because like we're future forward. Everything in the past is what was like, and we're just here right now, right? The time illusion, that's like for a whole nother story, but like we're here right now in this moment. It's like, how do you want to be, feel, live,
Mm.
express, and lean into that? Because again, it's always going to take you to that next, like I said, person that's going to come into your space. Like you just don't know. And I love the having that awareness and that openness to like the everything is possible,
Yeah.
and not knowing versus being afraid of the not knowing, because emotions, energy, emotion, when we trap that within us, as we all know, that can lead to dis-ease and depression and all those other things. So do you want to walk with that? It's like the awareness part. And what I say, especially women in dentistry, I scream this from the rooftops. I cannot express it enough, but I'm like, plug in to someone, anyone, or a group of women, whomever. We all have unique, right? Like frequency, like we all have our tribe, like we're all here together, we rise. But find your people person. We're not meant to do this alone.
Right.
And it is with another or others that we're able to calibrate to their energy. So you don't have to, it's okay where you are right now. It's okay. But when you plug in, you will automatically feel differently because the energy will guide. We co-create together, for me, for you, for us, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what we're here for. And this is truly what I believe in, because I feel like so many women are like, but no, masculine energy I can do, which we talked a lot about in the other podcast, masculine, feminine energy. And it's like, no, I can do it myself. Like the ego, raging, right? Like, nope, I've got it. Nope, whatever. It's okay to like just allow those walls to fall away and for you to be the beautiful being you are
Yes, the permission for that. And
authentically.
ironically, we do it so beautifully as women. We collaborate, we create, we co-create so beautifully together. We're such experts at it. And
Mm-hmm,
that's why we crave that community,
mm-hmm,
that sense of belonging with one another. And it's really interesting, at least my experience, Jessica, in dentistry was I actually found what I thought were my people. And what I experienced was a lot of judgment, a
mm-hmm,
lot of competition, a lot of fear.
mm-hmm.
We'd get together for dinners and we'd just sit and bitch about our team members or
Yeah.
our husbands or our children. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew that that didn't feel congruous with what was really true to me. And
Yes.
it's really interesting how that kind of culture has also been perpetuated in our field.
Beyond, still happening all the time.
So it's so hard, and I don't know
Mhm.
about you, but I look at those beautiful women and my heart breaks for them because they're still believing that story that we have to be a certain way, that we have to have control, that we have to have a masculine form of leadership that requires us to step on one another, and it
It's so
doesn't feel good.
no, and it's such an old paradigm I see on social all the time. It's like trying to fit in by putting memes and things that just like our profession, it just takes down our profession.
Yeah.
There's so much negativity across the board and anyway with how people feel. Like let's even just speak to the dentistry being in the four quadrants. Unlike any other profession, it hits on the emotional, spiritual, mental,
Mhm.
and physical. Okay, because no other job really does that. And on top of that, you've got patients saying, I don't like you, I don't want to be here, I don't want to pay you. Then you're trying to lead and you've got all this stuff going on with your team. There's so much happening. Why would you want to, or get on and like bash and like I said, our
Feel
profession.
worse. Why
Yeah,
would you wanna feel worse?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't know if like that is making people like they feel like it's making them feel better to be part of something. Anyway, I it's so old paradigm, and it's just like there are many of us that are like, hello, like we're looking to shift
Yeah.
into the new and the positive and the happiness factor and joy and abundance and like again everything that is available to all of you, and everything gets better because it's an overflow. You overflow that then to your significant other and your children if you have them, and your team can feel it. Everyone can feel you whether you're speaking or not. Right? It's
Yes.
like your electromagnetic field. That's how we know too. A patient walks to the front door and we're like, ooh, ooh, like there's something, or a waiter or what have you. Everyone's aware of that. Everyone can feel that. So you understand, right? And so yeah, it's just I feel like it all starts with us. And deciding to be an entrepreneur. I mean, how beautiful and amazing and incredible is that? Where the breakdown happens in dentistry is that we don't learn anything in dental school. Like we don't learn anything when it comes to marketing, branding, like showing up, leadership. We learn how to prep teeth, but then it's like, oh no, and here's a business. Figure out how to run it. Um, And people get lost and confused in that. And I also feel like I was a fee for service practice, 100% collection up front for 18 years, never played that game. And I can't imagine actually for my time and energy, like I can't imagine with everything everyone's feeling to be giving away so much to insurance companies or having insurance companies hold you hostage. But again, everyone's raging against the machine. And I'm like, but you decide. That's a
Mhm.
choice. You decide to work with them. So stop complaining. Like,
Yeah, we're so much more powerful than we realize in terms of
yes.
creating our own realities.
And they're outsourcing their power.
Yes.
Right. But they're a brilliant freaking entrepreneurial woman who decided to run a business, who has everything and then some. And so taking back the power and being like, this is the way I want my practice to run. I don't want to accept insurance as I want, my dream team, in case anyone on is just holding on because they're saying there isn't anyone out there. Because I've heard that so many times.
Yes. Yes. Or you know what I keep hearing, Jessica, is I just need a warm body in the chair.
Right. Yep. Yep.
There is nothing more limiting, and I'm going back to what you said a little bit earlier in the podcast. You said our words are creating spells. And when we say that and we incant that to the universe, that's what we get.
Yes, yes, yes. And if you can change, again, this is all, it's like the mind, right? Your mindset and shift the station, the radio station, change the station, right? Instead of
Yes.
not here, change the station until you're dialed in and you're back in alignment. Like I said, the back to the channel and listening, looking at the space and on, say, your schedule or what have you, say, and saying, I get to just sit, close your door, don't let anyone come in, be in like meditation for 10 minutes or read a chapter of your book but don't be in angst that you're losing production and what have you, because let me tell you, like the best things come out of that. When I tore the ligament in my thumb and I was out of work for 3 months, which when the surgeon told me that, I was like, I'm sorry, not possible. Like,
Yeah.
not. I went back to work with my thumb hanging off and went to go do a block. And I'm like, wait, my thumb isn't working. And I had pain shooting on my arm. And I'm like, wait, okay, I have a team. I'm a small practice. During that time, okay, so then I had to switch my mind and I said, okay, I'm not in control of this. Like, I'm not in control of this. So how am I going to make the best out of it? I feel amazing. Sat in silence. Boom. Dental Right. Built an entire business during that 3-month time that is now still running and amazing. And that business was born out of that time. So time and space is a gift,
Such a gift.
whether that is a patient in the chair, a big case that canceled, or an injury. It's just, again, looking perspective, looking at it through a different lens.
And I love that you created a perspective of a perspective that is such a small, easy shift because that is all it takes. It's
Yes.
not hard to do.
Right.
It's not hard to do to have the awareness. I just had the thought and recognize your thought and then choose to think a different thought.
Yes.
Choose to change your perspective. It's that simple.
I like to say, like, you're the character in your movie. So if you're watching your movie right now, like, think of it that way, because in reality, we are. Like, this is our movie and we're creating a reality. You're the avatar. So, like, what's next for you?
And what do you want?
Make it fun. That's back to fun. Like, make it fun. This is your game, your game, your movie, whatever you want it to be.
Mm.
But how are you showing up? And if you're watching that movie, are you like intrigued, interested? Like, what is she doing? Where is she going? Who is she? How is she being? It's all about being, right? Being and becoming, because we're always evolving and growing and becoming. I mean, I would hope, and this is why I also speak to strongly lately. It just came into my space and I'm like, the CE, the CE, the CE, the CE. It's like more, drive harder, learn more. And that brain of yours, when you know what you're doing already, stop questioning it. Creator energy. CE, I was like, / continuing education, creator energy. You are a creator being, and like, the world is your oyster. What is it you desire, even in your practice, whether that's like bringing some new candles in, some new artwork, it's your home away from home. How can you make it feel better? Create your space, create your life, create your next, create a date night with your husband. Like, do things differently than living in that triggered state of nothing is enough and going home thinking about that. Like the constant play that's running on repeat, those are old freaking codes, old programs that are running.
Yeah, for sure. And they don't feel good.
No, you just have to decide to scratch the freaking CD.
And
Right.
this is what's really exciting about where we are right now, is that people are getting really uncomfortable with the old.
Mhm.
And to me, that's exciting
Yes.
because that
Thank God.
means we are ready to shift and to
Yes, thank goodness.
create new. And as you mentioned, women are such phenomenal creators. I mean, it's what we do. We birth.
Babies. I
We
mean,
birth life, we
yeah.
birth businesses, we birth
Yes.
beautiful things. It's
Yes.
time for us to take back that power and
Yes.
recognize the power that we do have within ourselves.
Yes, and this
Yeah,
is why too my like where what I really am focused on right now is being the bridge from the op to online, showing women what's possible, not to leave their practice, but if they feel inspired and they get that call that they want to take their wisdom online, because I believe that we're teachers and mentors to those behind us. It doesn't come in a book. It comes
mm,
through experience and what we've grown through. And so for me, I'm just like, this is the new paradigm, the 5D, where we're moving, what people are craving is helping one another. And so for me, I'm like, you get to live and you've experienced the freedom like I have. And when you get a taste of it, you would never like, we want everyone to feel it, to experience it. And so I'm like, you can have your clinical days and do too. And then you can take your knowledge, package it up with a pretty red bow, and help the women that have gone behind you create more impact, which is ultimately creating more income. It's a beautiful, right? Like way to open up to allowing more
yeah,
possibility because it's all available. Because I see on side gigs some people and they're like, oh, I don't know, and I'll go work for an insurance company. I'm like, why would you write a resume at 55 or 60 years old and go work for a dental company that you could not stand even working with all these years? Like, I'm like,
yeah,
you are the creator. You have so much innate wisdom within you right now to take and package up in your own unique soul signature blueprint, like to bring to the world. And dentistry, my gosh, we need it. We need it right
yeah.
now, especially with the world. It's
Absolutely. Absolutely, and just the modeling of what's possible. We
yes,
need more of it.
yes,
We need
yes,
more and more and more women to stand in their power, to show what's possible, and we have such a beautiful platform to do it in terms of the online space. So while we're talking about the online space, I do wanna highlight Dental Soiree and the Dental Girl Gang, because I want my listeners who are just falling in love with everything you're saying here today
oh,
to
thank you.
know how to find you online. So tell me a little bit about those beautiful spaces on Instagram.
Instagram, yes. So multi-passionate, as we had mentioned. For dental soiree was the business baby I birthed during my dental injury. Sugar Fix Dental Laugh, my former practice that I sold on a quarantine dream, moved into the online space. Dental Soiree is my creative agency. We do digital marketing. I do brand photo shoots and build brands, whether, like I said, in office or online, social media, all the things. But then, like I said, I expanded beyond that. Dental Girl Gang is a platform where we highlight all of you beautiful women out there. So if you'd like to be featured, this is where I feature you. If anybody, like I said, wants to be a guest on the podcast and you have a story that you'd like to share, I believe wholeheartedly as well in us telling our stories and being again open and speaking our truth. It's very, very important so that you see, like I said, other people, we can help each other through this. And then, of course, I have Happy CEO, where I kind of went off helping health professionals and wellness professionals because I had several people reaching out, like chiropractors and
Mm,
veterinarians and other women that are in health too. They're all going through it. It's across the board, but I have fully come back, deep dive into dental because I am called as one of many of us to shine our light and lead the way for those that feel called, and hope that even if they see like a glimmer, like this is the part of the door, it's like, remember what's behind the door. Open the door. There's so much because the world is changing so rapidly right now. So many things, so many shifts, and thinking about your future. The good news to that is we are moving towards more and more possibilities. It's like a lot of this we can also see even in dentistry. It's going to get shaken up quite a bit. I just spoke to someone, a dentist earlier today, and she was talking to me about how the ADA won't be meeting any. I mean, all this kind of stuff, which I was like, really? I said, I stay in my own bubble because I'm not someone that watches the news. I'm not influenced by things outside of because I'm a creator. I create my reality and what's in front of me and where I'm going. And the women in my world do too. This is how we play. It's our playground,
Love it. Mhm.
because again, what you think about, you're creating, you're bringing into your space, and that's going to shift your frequency and how you feel. And I will refuse to live in fear because that's not what we're here for, you know?
Beautiful. I love it. And I love the perspective of we're on the verge of big change, which does not need to be feared, but actually celebrated because it opens for so much more possibility.
So much
Yes.
more.
So much more.
So much is coming. And just know, like, especially now and today, like, there's nothing off the table.
Yeah.
And
It's all
just
possible.
again, it's energy, it's energetics, and yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
So exciting. Well, thank you, sweetheart. It is so wonderful to have you on the podcast. But more than that, I want to say thank you for the incredible work that you're doing in this world.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
It's
for being that guiding light and for showing other women what is possible, for showing them a new way to lead, a new way to be, a new way to become, so that we can actually start evidencing that for one another and create a new paradigm of success and happiness in this beautiful industry.
right back at
Yeah.
you, soul sister.
Yeah.
And also, my main account is Dr. Jessica Emery. That is my main Instagram account. My other two are the businesses, but Dr. Jessica Emery is where I speak from my soul about
Mm.
all of this stuff that we are sharing and what's coming up for me. So right back at you. Thank you for everything that you are doing for all of the beautiful, amazing women out there. And I think just for all of you to know that you're not alone, and we're just here to pour our love out. And we hope that you can feel it. And just a big online hug.
Yeah, I think this is a beautiful awareness from this episode is if you have been listening and recognizing how much fear mongering and doubt people have been putting in your life, know that there is possibility and hope. Know that there is light on the other side, that we don't have to buy into that fear, and that there's an enormous shift happening that is actually for the better, and that you are so much more powerful than you realize. Thank you so much for being here, Jessica.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, and thank you to all of you for joining me here today. And remember, when you feel good, that is when you can do good. Bye bye. Thank you for listening to the Business of Happiness podcast. If this episode brought you new perspective and value, I invite you to subscribe so that you catch all upcoming episodes and leave us a review. And if you know of a friend or colleague who could benefit from this perspective, share this episode with them and empower their day. For more information about the Business of Happiness and the Radical Happiness for Practitioners course, find me on www.thebizofhappiness.com. See you there.